Good afternoon, everyone. It's Anita Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, my thoughts are all about taking a leap. And I'm thinking about this. I've spent some time contemplating today, and I have to think about how many people are used to taking small steps. And I'm noticing this, especially with the grief recovery work that I do with people. Many people are used to taking little steps. Although even little steps are not so easy for many too. A lot of times we get comfortable in a situation that is not really comfortable, but somehow our mind perceives it as comfortable. I started thinking about this, where I started thinking again about one of the videos that I have done some time ago about cognitive dissonance, about how sometimes we learn something in a situation that doesn't feel quite right, yet we have a perceived belief or perception that things are okay. This is okay. And so that often holds people back from taking those steps. And then there's the time that comes that is a big step. And sometimes that's forced upon us because of life circumstances. If anyone is into tarot out there, I can tell you that that would match what is called a tower moment in those times. So sometimes that will be the awakening that a person needs. And it's something from the universe that is, I'm going to say a gift, but at the time is really not easy. I certainly have gone through a couple of tower moments in my life, and I can say that, yeah, they were not easy. They were awakenings and they were very, very useful for my learning. But I'm also a person who has been comfortably able to take leaps when I feel a really heartfelt desire to do so. So I came across this Zen proverb that I really like that I wanted to share with you, which you've probably heard. And it says, leap and the net will appear. Leap and the net will appear. Now you can imagine how much faith and trust this would take to even say this to ourselves, that I know I'm really scared about the next step, but I'm going to take a leap. And that's if we're lucky enough to actually be thinking clearly, to be aware of that I'm scared of taking this step. Now, sometimes we'll be thinking of it in the background, and sometimes we're really consciously aware that, yeah, I'm really fearful about what's on the other side because I'm familiar with this side. So we don't take that leap. Yet, I'm here to tell you today, or remind you today, that the leap is really useful. One important thing to remember about the leap, or a leap, is that it actually requires letting go of something to get to another place. So remember, this is why it's a little bit different than a step. When you're just thinking about a step, you can think about a small step that the other foot is probably still on the ground as we're taking a step, right? So one foot is moving forward and then slowly the other foot comes along, and we can go at whatever pace we want. And it feels somewhat comfortable, and yet not so comfortable, because again, a lot of the comfort is staying in a space where the other foot is, not the foot that's already moved ahead, but the foot that's in the comfort of that discomfort. So it's a big step to take to do a leap. So this is even more than a big step, because someone could stretch a little bit more than what they're used to, but their foot is still comfortably placed in, we'll say, the past. So this is interesting that if you are able to today think about one thing that you know you are not so comfortable in. This is something I'm not comfortable in. It could be what kind of meals you have. Maybe you really know that I'm not eating healthy and I really would like to take the step to eat better. It's not just a step in those times, right? Because if all of the nutrition, or a lot of the nutrition, is not so healthy, then it's a leap to move into a space of, I'm choosing to do this. I'm choosing to eat healthier. This is my direction. I'm going to go grocery shopping. I'm going to think about the meals I have to plan because this is what I'm choosing to do. And that's a leap. Sometimes it's in relationships. I'm not happy in this space, but I'm fearful about moving to a new space. And that's a leap. And many people really drag things out in these times. So it's not so comfortable, but it's okay. Now, if the intention is to make a not so comfortable place really comfortable, take the leap into that side. That's the place. You're also moving into a different space, because For a little while, you're comfortable of it's okay, but I'm just not that happy. Then take the full leap that you're moving into a different space to say that I fully am going to throw myself into this space of creating a wonderful experience. And that's fantastic. And then there's people who are in a situation which is not helpful. So sometimes it's an abusive relationship. Sometimes it could be physically, it could be mentally, emotionally, but there's something really not comfortable. Yet, unusually, or perhaps you know this experience, maybe you've gone through this experience, there's still a comfort in that space of familiarity. So maybe it's because a person has been treated not so well through childhood by parents or family or friends, and they get used to feeling this generalized non comfort space. And so in a relationship, they're very familiar with that space, though they're not happy. So then it takes a leap to move into the possibility of happiness. And that takes some mindful attention. I am creating happiness for my life. And that is a very, very beautiful space to leap into. And so today I'd love for you to think about just one thing that feels a little uncomfortable and that you know that you're not consciously moving into a different space, even though you're not so happy. It could be applying to new jobs. It could be that you're not happy in your workplace, but you really want to move into a new place. And it takes a leap to think, I'm going to start applying for new places, right? It takes some time and effort to do that search. It takes some time and effort to talk to the right people, to network a little bit. And it's all possible. But if we're not allowing ourselves to dream that dream fully and put 2 feet into that dream, it's not very easy to materialize. In the other aspect, leap and the net will appear. Now, I also really like poetry or poetic comments or messages. So I found something that just touched my heart. So I thought I would read it to you. It doesn't have an actual author to it, but I liked it and I thought I'd share it with you. And I certainly believe this has happened for me in various times in my life. And I hope that you will recognize that it's possible to happen to you too if your faith and trust is there. So, this quote, I'll say loosely, says, "She took the leap and built wings on the way down." She took the leap and built her wings on the way down. And so, of course, this can be used for a guy too. And it could be he took the leap and built his wings on the way down. But it literally is that what you need to do as things are materializing, you're going to do, and it's going to happen because you have an intention to do so, and you will. And the right people do show up. Surprisingly, when you have that faith, the right people come along, the right situations happen, the right life experiences help you get to the dream that you are focused on. So I wish that for you, and I hope that you will start today with just 5 minutes of thinking about what's one space that you could do this in and get comfortable with the non comfort of not knowing what's going to happen, but creating what's going to happen with a strong belief that you can. I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend ahead. And I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone.